Hey bees, I'm Marie from Humblebee and Me, and today we are going to take a look at how my airbrushing primer stick works. I'm going to sort of build it into a little bit more of a makeup tutorial and also show you some lip color that I've been wearing in some of my videos that a bunch of you have been asking about, so you can kind of see that in action too, and I can sort of tell you how to make it because it's really easy. I just thought I would start things off by saying that a lot of the recipes that I'm using today are in my book, Make It Up, which is it's like a cookbook on how to make all your own cosmetics, and it's full of super awesome recipes that are a lot easier, a lot simpler than the cosmetic recipes on my blog, require a lot fewer ingredients. So yeah, I mean, I think this book is pretty awesome, and it's quite inexpensive on Amazon right now, so you should check it out. Link in the description box below. Yeah. All right, so airbrushing primer stick. So I made this in two formats, mostly because I filled up this bad boy, and then I had this beautiful, isn't that gorgeous? This beautiful vintage compact that I got in Camden in London when I was there in January. And I mean, it's just gorgeous. Yeah, if you're looking for compacts, the Camden market is the best place I found for them, which is sad because it's very far away from me. But if you live in London, lucky you. Right, so it poured out quite nicely, and so I have it sort of in two formats here. These paperboard containers are from Humblebee. They're actually located here in Calgary, but of course they ship all over and priced in Canadian dollars. So if you are in the States, you basically get like a 25% discount on everything that they sell. So that's awesome. These are the best paperboard containers I've ever used. As you can see, it hasn't leaked and bled and soaked through, which has happened with other ones I've used. And I mean, these, like, they're not inexpensive, right? No matter where you get these things, they're usually $2 to $3 a piece when you're buying them in small quantities. So it's a real bummer to use one and pour your product in there and just have the oil soak through in a matter of days. So this has been in here for about a week now, and you can see it still looks awesome. And I have some other projects in other paperboard containers from them that also still look great. So booyah. So I just released a recipe for this on the blog today, so if you want to make it, go check it out. It's really easy. It's mostly just like a melt, stir, pour kind of deal. But the general notion here is that it is a sort of a really lightweight primer foundation stick, so it will mattify your skin. It will improve the appearance of your skin by sort of blurring it, thanks to the silica microspheres and cerussite mica in here. And it does have some coverage for a little bit of color correction. You're not going to get like a lot of blemish coverage with this, but it will help even out your skin tone. So I really like this for wearing on its own, but it's also great as a primer underneath your makeup because it will help control oil, and oil from our skin is a really big part of what makes our makeup kind of go all... So yeah, so this is me pretty much first thing in the morning. I've washed my face and put on some lotion, and you can see that my skin is not perfect, and I don't know, I feel like that's pretty normal. I had somebody chew me out in the comments section a couple days ago for not having perfect skin. She told me I was effectively an obese nutritionist because I was giving skincare advice, but I don't have perfect skin myself, which seemed kind of weird to me because I would rather take skincare advice from somebody I know who doesn't always have perfect skin. It's like that person, you're like, gosh, how do you stay so fit? And she's like, I don't know, I eat whatever I want and I just never gain any weight and I just always look toned and beautiful. And it's like, well, that's not me. That's not my life. I don't feel like that. I eat whatever I want and none of those things happen to me. So I feel like somebody who's just already got perfect skin maybe doesn't have the world's greatest skincare advice, but maybe that's just me. But yeah. Let's pop this on. So I find that you are going to want to blend this in a bit with your fingers, but I don't really consider that to be too arduous of a task. I'm going to try to go for like a roughly halvesies thing so we can kind of get a halvesies what's it. This also does apply really nicely with a brush out of the compact. It's got a really lovely dry touch finish to it, thanks to the silica in it. If you do have really dry skin, I would recommend swapping out some of the silica, by weight for more of the cerussite mica. So tipping it a little bit more in the favor of the cerussite mica. Cerussite mica will still give you that soft focus blurred effect, but it's not as good with oil control. And if you have dry skin, that's great because that oil control can go from oil control to sort of pulling much too much oil out of your skin and making your complexion dry and unhappy. So yeah, if you have drier skin, super, super easy customization there. And so this glides on really, really beautifully, and a large part of that is because it is thickened with cetyl alcohol. I sort of have suspicions that I'm going to get questions from people about using beeswax or another wax as a thickener for it, and I just really wouldn't recommend that, because cetyl alcohol is this beautiful, silky, lovely thickener, and beeswax is really none of those things, so you will get a much sort of skiddier final product. So there you can kind of see a half-seas application. I can see that my skin is much more matte on this side, and it does look a little bit more, you know, more seamless. Obviously we're not getting really any coverage for the disaster area that is my chin, but there is the effect. And I thought for the other side of the face I would sort of show how it applies with a brush and out of a palette. So I do find it's probably a little bit faster with the brush, but I'm also much more practiced using a brush to apply things to my face rather than sort of like sticking them on my fingers. So that could just be me. The stick definitely makes for much more sort of easy to carry around application. You don't need a brush. So yeah. So for a little bit of coverage, I'm going to just grab my foundation here and go in with a fine tipped brush, and we will vanquish the rebellion happening on my chin. So yeah, this is just the same mineral makeup that you'll add to your primer stick here. So obviously it matches really, really well. So if you are blessed with pretty darn good skin that just needs a little bit of cover up action, that's a really good way to do it. So now I'm going to use some of my highlighting moon drops. And so these ones, is number 3. I don't remember what I called it. I just wrote number 3 on the bottom so I know. So I'm going to do a little bit of highlighting here. I'm feeling sort of bright and springy. So this one has some of that gorgeous like mermaid, sort of unicorn type shimmer in it. Sort of like something that I feel like would probably do very well at Comic-Con or some sort of, yeah. Oh, okay. Beneath the brow bone. I feel very pretty. Like an intergalactic disco ball. Yeah. Alright, a little bit up here, just a little bit. Don't wanna look like I kissed a unicorn too much. But yes, the lip color that you guys have been asking about. So I took a couple of these. So this one was number 5. And I believe this one here was number 8. And so what I did is I took each of these and I mixed 1/32 teaspoon of FD&C red number 7 into them, and they turned into really, really pretty lip color. So I'll just do some quick swatches here so that you can kind of see. The one in number 5 turned out really quite pink, which was really neat. And the one in number 8 has a really cool autumny kind of shimmer to it. So there you can kind of see, top one is number 5 and the bottom one is number 8, and they're really, really lovely. They wear really, really well. So I wanted to kind of thank Abigail, who, you know, I'd sort of written, oh yeah, you can use pigments in them. And so she put pigments in hers and put it on her lips and was like, hey, this is actually really awesome. It's super easy to make. So I was like, well, I have to try that as well. And so yeah, that's basically that. Really, really easy. Obviously, so mine are made with this silica microspheres, and Abigail used the substitution of cerussite mica. I would probably recommend doing it with the cerussite mica because the silica microspheres, as previously noted, are excellent at oil control. So I find that they're actually a little drying on my lips. So I go in and kind of really slather in some lip balm before applying this as lip color, because it can be a little drying for my tastes. But yes, these are really easy to make as lip color. So in keeping with the sort of like unicorn shimmer pretty thing, I'm gonna pop on some of this one. All right, so you can see that that has quite a bit of shimmer to it, which is not surprising because it has a ton of mica in it, but goes on beautifully. Super, super high potency. I think I'm gonna use a little bit of this for a bit of blush too. I always think I'm wearing way too much blush when I put it on, and then I sort of like look back a couple minutes later and it's like, oh, did I even put blush on? Anybody else do that? All right, let's do some quick brows. This brow palette is from my book, Brow Wow. All the color blends are in there, easy to make. Works like a charm. Finish it up with a touch of powder, which is totally just one of the eyeshadow recipes from the book. I find I like such a light touch on my brows that I only actually put powder on this brush like every third or fourth use, and the rest of the time I just sort of make do with the remnants on the brush, and that ends up working out really, really well for me. Yeah. Clear up my eyelashes. And some mascara. So the mascara from the book is a really thick, almost cake-like mascara, so you can kind of see it is very thick. So I've had a couple people be like, but why isn't this in a tube? And like, that's why. This is not tube compatible. So I'm gonna grab a mascara brush. I'm just gonna dip that in a little bit of water over here, kind of work that up and apply as mascara. So I find I'll often do 2 or even 3 coats with this, not necessarily because you really need that many, but because usually I have a little bit too much water on the brush, so the first coat ends up being more like a lash gloss, and then as the water starts to soak into the mascara, I can pick up a sort of a thicker coating of it and then go back for more of a, like some actual sort of length and whatnot, rather than just sort of darkening. Okay, well, that is this sort of look, I don't know, sort of like bright spring mermaid, sure. But you have now seen my airbrushing primer stick in action in both stick and compact form, and you now know the secret of that pretty lip color that a lot of you have been asking about in some of my other videos. So it is this one, the number 8, that I have been wearing in previous videos that a lot of you had been wondering about. So there you go. That's super, super simple to make, and you should probably make some because it's beautiful. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to learn how to make your very own airbrushing primer stick, please check out the recipe on my blog, link below. It's very easy to make, and yeah, I really like it. I'm a big fan for the summer going forward, especially for a lighter alternative to foundation when my skin is being well behaved, but it's also great with foundation on top of it. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, check out my blog, check out my book, and I will see you next time. Bye.